Hello, welcome to the Lululoves Crochet Podcast, episode 20. My name is Emma and this is my podcast all about crochet and crafts and books and anything else I'm interested in really. You can find me on the internet over at lululoves.co.uk. I'm also on Instagram, Ravelry, Pinterest. I'll put all the links in the info bar below. I hope you're all well. It's been a long time since I podcast. I think the last one was back in December. I found January so hard this year, and every year I think, well, I'm going to look at January differently, but I still seem to struggle my way through it. So I've only really just got back into some sort of routine when it comes to crocheting and blogging. So hopefully back on track now. I was also poorly for a week. I had a stomach flu, some sort of stomach bug, and it really knocked me out. And I just could not face crocheting a stitch. But oddly, all I wanted to do was knit. So this will not become a knitting podcast, I promise you, but I do have a couple of knitted items to show you. And they're very basic. So I might start with those and just get them out of the way. So the first thing I made was a hat. It's all of the patterns are free patterns. I will put all the notes in the show notes because I haven't brought any written notes up with me today. It's half term, the children are home, so I just thought, right, I'm going to quickly film this before they all become alive. Anyway, here it is. Can you see that? It's focusing. It's just got a basic rib and then some simple decreases, and then I've added this giant bubble. This is a hat for a very specific person. The person that would wear this hat would have an unusually short head, yet a very wide head. It doesn't fit anyone in the house. I think really I just wanted to knit something, and yeah, I mean the yarn is lovely. I can't even remember what it is, but it's some sort of super chunky. I think it's a Lion brand one, and it looks really nice knitted up. It's interesting to see the difference. You know, like this has got some obvious stripes in. When you crochet with this yarn, it doesn't look anything like that, so that's quite interesting. So I may be donating that one, but it was fun to make, and I used some nice big needles, which I think helped a lot actually. I think it was these. These are Knit Pro Novas 8mm, I think it was. I really like them. They're really, I guess because they're so shiny, the stitches just sort of fly off. And prior to that, I had tried to work a hat up using the, I think it's the magic loop method, you know, where you pull the, what are those things called? No, the strings. But my work was just really gappy, so I'm definitely not ready for that at the moment. So I did that, and then, just get that in a minute. And then I thought, okay, what other project would be nice and simple? So I looked at making some wrist warmers. And these are really lovely as well. I've used, oh, it's going to be one of those podcasts. I can't remember the yarn, but again I will. And I've worked with it just recently as well. Anyway, here are the wrist warmers. Really simple, and these are worked on 2 needles. I've got some hair caught in there. I'll try one on for you. The pattern, again, it's a free pattern online, and it's from an Outlander series of free knitting patterns. There are a couple of wrist warmers. I think there are some other lovely projects on there. I will link the page below. I found them on Pinterest. Really lovely designs. There you go. Try and get my head out of the way. Can you see that? Really lovely. Now, The only issue I had with these, because they're just worked up in one piece and then you just sew them up, is I did my long tail cast on. That's lovely and stretchy, and then for the finishing, it said to obviously working this ribbing, it said to finish off, cast off in pattern. So I looked that up and I managed to do that, but there is hardly any stretch in it at all. So I'll try and show you the difference. Not sure how I can do that. Can you see? So this is the cuff, and then this is the fingers, and there's almost an inch less stretch in that. So I must be casting off a bit tight, I guess. Anyway, they fit, but you can see it's sort of pulling the stitches a bit there, and I don't have a lot of wiggle movement, but they're really nice. They were really simple. So I've done one, and I'm working these up on these just plain 5.5mm. These are Addy ones. I like these, they're nice and easy. I've just I cast on the second mitt there. But of course, now I'm feeling better, I'm back into crochet again. But I will finish the other glove. And that was the yarn. I know it's the same yarn that I made the courtship shawl in. So it's a really lovely, oh gosh, I really can't remember, but I'll put it all below. And I had lots of these. I think there must have been a sale on, so I bought loads. So that's the other pattern or project I worked on while I was poorly. And then what else have I done? I finished my Honeycomb socks. I've already put these up on Instagram, and I have been wearing them, so they're already a little bit stretched out, so excuse me. Anyway, there were these long, almost knee-high socks. Look at that lovely stitch pattern there. I will put the maker's details below. These are so gorgeous. Anyway, I think I did share these in a previous podcast because I had finished one sock. Now I have two, and I've been wearing them as boot socks, so I've been stretching them over my jeans a bit, but they're staying up fine. But they're gorgeous. So I love those. So I have a pair of knee-length socks now, and they're so soft. Just love that sort of honeycomb stitch there. So those are finished, and I've been really trying to, the past couple of weeks, I'm really trying to catch up with myself, because there are still patterns that, you know, designs that I made months ago that I haven't written up. So the past week I've been having a real sort of admin week and trying to get those patterns written up. I did write up, which is here, the pattern for my Penelope scarf, just the long one. And I made this one up in, this is the James C. Brett with Aaron. James C. Brett Rustic with Aaron, I think. You know, there she is. You see the lovely stitches. So I made another one and finished her off. She's lovely and long, lovely and lacy, and because she's worked with Aran wool, she's just so cozy to wear. So you can, okay, you can wear her as a wrap. She's so long. There she is in all her glory. Or you can just wear her as a really big scarf, which is how I've been wearing her throughout winter. Oh, look at that. Lovely. And this yarn has got, I think, 25% or maybe 30% wool. I'm not sure, I have to check the label. So it's really lovely, but it's not scratchy, and it's kind of got lots of little flecks in of brown and black, which I think just makes it a bit more interesting. I did block her out so that you could really see the pattern, but because she's mostly acrylic, she has slipped back to her old ways. I don't mind really. So yes, the free pattern for Penelope is up on the blog. You can also download a paid PDF for, I think, about £1 from Ravelry, Etsy, Love Crochet, the usual places. So she's up. The PDF does include a stitch diagram, as well as the step-by-step photos. So I am trying to also work to add stitch diagrams or just charts to my patterns in the future, but that's been a bit of a learning curve as well. So yes, so I was really pleased to get her finished, and she's had loads of use. So I don't think there was anything else I needed to say about her. No, I don't think so. So yes, if you'd like to make one, have a look on the blog. All the step-by-step photos are there. Oh, I know what I was going to tell you. The first one I made, the white one, I said that I had blocked on the my daughter's bed. You know, she's at uni, so her bed's empty, it's fine. But the cat was up there, so I'd kind of sort of blocked it around the cat, and I had used a stitch pattern because I was working on the cowl version. I had used a stitch pattern from a stitch dictionary. I can't remember what one off the top of my head. And as I blocked the shawl, it sort of was going like this, and I just couldn't understand it really. I could only put it down to my tension changing. Anyway, it turns out that I had taken the pattern from the stitch dictionary and just ignored it completely. So I had worked a couple of rows in that stitch pattern and then just done my own thing. So it is similar to the stitch pattern in the dictionary, but it's different. And I actually think this version is a lot more simple, which is probably why in my head I switched to it, because I think in the I can't remember, but I think what was happening was these 3 stitches were sort of one stitch, or no, I think it was these 3 stitches. These 3 stitches here were stitched together to make one stitch, you know, like a decrease, and then extra chains had been put in, but I've worked these as all individual stitches. So I had lost some chain spaces along the way, so I reworked it and rewrote it, and I do think it's definitely an easier version to follow. So yes, that was that. So that will teach me really. The other thing I have finished, and I got these in just in time for Valentine's Day, because again, like I said, January I was so off my game. I had all these ideas, and then by the time I sort of came out of my funk, it was nearly February, so I did sort of rush to get these up. These are little filet crochet pot holders. They've got a little wooden ring on them, and then a very pretty simple border, and then just the filet heart. And I did a spring flower pot holder with the same thing. I really love the effect of putting the filet crochet in front of a solid colour, so that you can just, you know, you just get a peep of those colours behind. So I really love those. So I did one of those, then I did another one in pink. There he is. Lovely. And the pattern is up on the blog. I haven't done the PDF for it yet. I have put instructions for a chained hook here, because, you know, not everyone has these little wooden rings. These were really inexpensive. I bought a bag like this. I can't remember the size of them now. I think probably 4.5 centimetre rings. I bought them on Amazon. I think I bought 10 for just a couple of pounds. I did not realise that they were coming all the way from China, so it did take about 3 weeks for them to arrive. But you can easily chain, just put a little chain loop there. But these are so cute. I was really pleased with the way they turned out. The other thing to say about them is they are made with cotton Aran. Again, a mistake. I would normally have made this sort of thing in a DK weight. But I had ordered some cotton Aran for another project that I was working on, and I think I just picked it up by mistake, and I actually worked the cotton Aran with my 4mm hook. And as I was working, I was thinking, this yarn feels a little bit difficult today. Like, it's a little bit splitty, and I couldn't figure it out because I always use the what's this? The paint box cotton. I never have any problem with it, but that was the reason. I was using a 4mm hook. So I have written up the pattern in Aran weight with a 4mm hook. You could easily use a 4.5mm would be just as fine. But just be aware of that if you are. I mean, you could easily use this in a you know, create these in a DK weight. You would just probably have to either add to the border or add some stitches either side of the heart motif. And I really want to create a little chart for that because I do feel like filet crochet is definitely easier to read from a chart, but well, I will do that, but I will put that on the PDF because they are taking me a bit of time at the moment. So that was those. So they're up on the blog. That's another free pattern. And I think that is it for my finished items. I don't have a lot of works in progress to show you. I've got the knitted, the knitted wrist warmer to finish. A little project here that I started. Excuse me. I have started to do a little series on my Instagram called 5 I've Saved Friday, and the purpose of it really is just to highlight or showcase 5 images that I have loved that week on Instagram that have made me press the save button. And I generally only really save maybe 10 images, some weeks less, but I thought it was a really nice way to share some of the inspirations, you know, some pictures that inspire me basically. Some of them are knitting, most of them are crochet, some of them are patterns, some of them are just colourways or finished garments, just anything that I've looked at and thought, I love that. So I've started to do it as a sort of a Friday series on my stories. I just thought, yeah, it was a nice way to showcase some other designers or makers really. You know, there's been a lot of talk on Instagram really recently about inclusion, diversity, and I sort of had to think about it. It's funny actually because my daughter read the book Why I'm No Longer Talking to White People About Race. She read it back in November, so we had a lot of these conversations in the household, you know, a couple of months before Christmas. So I'll leave some hashtags if you haven't been following in the show notes, and maybe you can catch up and see what's you know, it's not, I don't really feel comfortable talking about it because I don't feel that I'm educated enough. You know, I'm still learning. There are better voices. I think that's what I'm trying to say. So I will leave some hashtags. Anyway, it got me thinking, you know, how I can reach out more, how I can support more makers, and this really was how it came about. So as a quick side note, I just will say that I hope everyone feels welcome on any of my public channels, Instagram, YouTube, the blog. You know, I want everyone to feel welcome and supported, and yeah, I just hope we can all support each other really. So now where was I going? Let's see. Oh yes, that's right. So in my last series, in my last little series on Instagram, I shared an image of some crochet swans. Now these were not by an independent maker or a new designer, but I just love them so much I had to put them on there. So here they are. Aren't they lovely? Can you see that, or is it, I'm not sure how much you can see that. I really want to make them, but I just don't have the time at the moment. They are from, it's a little Rickaroomy book. After I shared the picture, I thought I really want to make those, so I went and bought the book. It's The Lovely World of Rickaroomy, It Must Be Love. So it's one of their little books for their cotton, their Rickaroomy cotton. I've not used any of the Rickaroomy cotton yet. Anyway, I really want to make those swans, but I'm going to have to wait till I've got more time. But I was looking through the book and I did see these gorgeous these gorgeous little roses, and I thought, well, I probably do have time to make a little rose. So there we go. Can you see that? So again, I don't have the right yarn, but I do have lots of DK cotton. So over the weekend, I started making the petals. They're all in this bag because that rose called for about 16 petals, all of different sizes. It's one of those projects where you think, oh, that will take 5 minutes. No. So I've got about 16 of these, ranging from very, very small to fairly small. So now I've got to sew in all the ends. I think this is the smallest one. Okay, I've got to sew in all the ends and put my rose together. So I didn't have time to finish it the weekend. So that is the only work in progress that I've got brought up to show you, really. I do have a blanket on the go. I still have my Diamonds and Bobbles jumper on the go. But like I said, I'm really trying to focus on getting some patterns written up. So I'm currently writing up I'm doing the chart for the boho bunting that was featured in Molly Makes, I think probably about this time last year. So I'm hoping to release that towards the end of the week. And I really, really want to write up the pattern for my Betty jumper that I showed a long time ago. I think what's put me off of that is grading it, and because I really would like to, you know, the Diamonds and Bobbles was so oversized, I wasn't really worried, but this one is a bit more fitted, and I really would like to offer it in to at least 2 sizes, but preferably 3. So I'm having to learn how to grade, and yeah, I think that's what's putting me off, but I'm going to do it, so I'm hoping to release that one soon. So that's about it, I think, for the crochet. I will show you quickly some new yarns that I haven't really bought any new yarns, but I have received some. So I've received a lovely big box of yarns from Mariner yarns. I've not worked with them before. They mostly sell acrylic yarns, very affordable yarns. So I think some of their acrylics are about $1.99 for 100 grams. So they've sent me a lovely big bag of yarns to I'm trying to see where I've put the bag. A lovely big bag of yarn somewhere. Never mind. Anyway, I'll just show you a few of them. So this one is the Twister double knit. I really liked the look of this. It's 100% acrylic, and I mean, I've not worked with it yet, but I have to say it feels really soft. So that's the Twister yarn. I absolutely love that. And they sent me 2 of those, so I can definitely make something with those. And they also sent me a different colourway. It's just got shade numbers now. There's that one. Right, my camera is flashing at me. I'm just going to press pause quickly and then restart. Okay, so where were we? We were looking at the Twister double knit, so that looks lovely as well. And then they sent me oh, here it is. A big bag of, look at these. This is super soft baby double knit. So I don't think I've got any of that out. Anyway, I've got a project in mind that I think we use 4 of these. I've got a stool that needs recovering, and I really want to do something for Lulu's room. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to save some, I think these 4 and some of these other ones, to do a giveaway soon, because it's been a while since I've done a giveaway, so I'm collecting some bits together. This one is the mermaid spot. That's lovely as well. That's a DK as well. They're so soft. I mean, I hope they work up like that. What else have we got here? We've got a mermaid super chunky. Is that not focusing? There we go. That is in marshmallow, and again 100% acrylic. It is really soft yarn, and in the same range as that. Yes, mermaid super chunky. This one's called pink pastel, and that's just got flecks of other colours running through it. That's really lovely as well. And then there's a couple of these which I was quite interested in. This is called Smooth Touch Cotton Look Double Knit. And it's 100% acrylic, so it's made to look like cotton, but it's acrylic. So there's a pink one there. Can you just see it? There is something about it that looks like cotton. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. I'd definitely be interested in working with that. And then they sent me the same one. This one I think would be really good for socks. I mean, I don't know. Do you work socks up in acrylic yarn? I'm not sure, but again, this is the same yarn. It's that cotton look, but it's got a lovely sort of pattern to it, which I think will look really nice worked up. So yeah, those are some new yarns. So like I said, I've got a couple of projects in mind, and I'm gonna save a good bunch for a giveaway. And I think that is it for yarn and projects. Quick look around. I'm sure I've forgotten something, but it's not the end of the world. I will just talk through quickly some books that I've been reading recently. I read The Stranger Diaries by Ellie Griffiths. That's a nice thriller. You know, it's a bit of a murder mystery. I read it, well, I did read it, I think over Christmas, but definitely good. Have a look. I'll put more, this is a good one. I'll put more description in the blog post so you can read about that, because I did read these quite a while ago. What else have we got here? Oh, this is a good one. This is Centenary Stitches by, well, lots of people, but it's edited by Elizabeth Lovick. As seen in the feature film Tell Them of Us. It says, telling the story of one World War I family through vintage knitting and crochet. There we go. It's not the most glossy of books, but the patterns in there are so lovely, and I am really interested in historical costume and you know, social history in general. So I think I must have come across this on Pinterest, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna have a look on Amazon, and I did find it. So it has you know, pages on how to translate vintage patterns, you know, lots of old adverts, but really what I loved were the patterns. They are all made or remade from original patterns. So there's, I don't know how well you're going to see this. So there's a lady called Grace in this lovely jacket, knitted jacket, and then they've remade it and popped up the pattern. So I will show you a couple of the pictures. I'll try not to show you the patterns, but look at these lovely knitted waistcoats. Oh, I love those. I want one. Totally above my capabilities at the moment, and I loved this jumper as well. It just looks so elegant. Look at the lines. It's really long and kind of fitting. I really love that. I really see jumpers like that at the moment. They're all sort of cropped or boxy. These cardigans as well. Gorgeous. There are some crochet patterns in here. There's some crochet hats, a couple of beautiful crochet shawls. I will definitely make one of the shawls. I also wanted to show you this. These are knitted rifleman's gloves. Okay, how good would these be for texting? You know, you can't really text or do anything when you've got mittens on, but anyway, so that's an original pattern that was used. There's service gloves, these sort of balaclavas for servicemen, cushions for cushions for soldiers. Just beautiful, really lovely vintage, and there's a few accessories in that. Let me see if I can show you one of the crochet scarves, shawls. So if you knit and you're interested in vintage patterns, there are a lot of patterns in here, and there are lots of knitted shawls. Not so many crochet patterns, but the ones that are in there are beautiful. Here's a lovely crochet shawl, shawlette. And there was another really lacy one in here somewhere. But they've even got lovely knitted ties. I mean the shawls. So there's a crocheted shawl, and then look at that. There's a lovely knit shawl there. So I would really recommend that. Like if like me you are into that sort of historical knitting and crochet, that's a really lovely book, and I'm not sure about the fit. I will have to read up more on it. I had some Christmas vouchers. People always buy me Amazon vouchers and that for Christmas, so I then just go on and I buy all the books that probably I wouldn't pick up otherwise. So two of these books were this one. The first one is, there's a bit of a theme, I think, is it's called The Landscapes of Anne of Green Gables by Catherine Reed. So it's all about the island, is it Nova Scotia? Prince Edward Island? Oh, anyway, there's Prince Edward Island. It's just, I suppose, a bit of a history book, but there are some lovely images in there about, the house, there's a museum and the types of houses and the landscape. It really is sort of a luxury sort of coffee table book, I suppose. So I'm really looking forward to reading that. And then along the same vein, I picked up the Anne of Green Gables cookbook, Charming Recipes from Anne and Her Friends in Avonlea. And this is by Kate MacDonald and Ellen Montgomery. I guess they must have been some of her recipes, but Kate MacDonald is Ellen Montgomery's granddaughter. So that's quite nice. And the illustrations are really lovely on this. But it says, join Anne Shirley and her friends in Avonlea with the charming recipes in the Anne of Green Gables cookbook, a recipe collection inspired by Ellen Montgomery's famous children's book. Have you ever wanted to sneak a sip of Diana Barry's favourite raspberry cordial, or try a slice of Anne Shirley's favourite liniment cake? So again, there's some lovely recipes. I mean, like anything, I'm sure you could find most of these online. You've got some lovely apple dumplings. I just really liked the idea of the book, I think. So there's plum pudding, Gilbert's hurry up dinner. What have we got? Vegetable soup, saucy chicken, old-fashioned lemonade. Yeah, nothing really. Oh, there's the liniment cake. So yeah, anyway, that, you know, these are I suppose, what, you know, luxury purchases, aren't they? They're not really books that they're just books you want, not books you need. So I think that is about it. I haven't really been watching anything on telly either. I've been very good. I've been oh, we did go to the cinema actually. The children and I, it's half term here, did I say that? The children and I went to watch The Kid Who Would Be King, sort of a modern reworking of King Arthur. Lily really enjoyed that. So yeah, it was quite good. I think that must have been a British film because you know, the houses and the cul-de-sacs that were all filmed on looked very familiar. Oh, I went to see Glass with my friend. I really enjoyed that. I did really enjoy the first two films as well. Was it Unbreakable and Split? So I did enjoy that. I think James McAvoy is absolutely amazing. So I watched that, and I haven't really watched anything on telly. So that's it. So I think that's it for today. I hope you're all well. I'm sorry if this podcast is a bit all over the place. I promise to be a bit more organised next time, but I thought if I don't film it now, I'll talk myself out of it and it'll be another week that I haven't filmed. So, oh, the other thing is, excuse me, I'm quite excited and also quite nervous because I think I'm going to be going to Unravel at the weekend. And that will be, believe it or not, the first yarn festival I've ever been to. So I spoke to the lovely Chrissy from Chrissy's Crafts, and obviously she's going out with the Crochet Zine girls. So I'm really looking forward to meeting them. Yeah, I'm kind of nervous. I think I'm going to, I'm nervous because I think I'm going to drive up on my own. I was going to get the train, but the train services around here are such that I sort of have to go 30 minutes in the wrong direction to get on a train to take me forward. And with all the stops and changes, I think it worked out to be about 3 hours on the train. And that would eat into some serious yarn buying time. So I think I'm probably just going to drive. It's about an hour and a half away. So, but things like that do make me really anxious. I don't know why. It's silly, really. Anyway, so yeah, if you're at Unravel, come and say hello. That would be really lovely. I will be the nervous one in the corner, probably. Or the one outside taking deep breaths. But anyway, I will see you all again very soon, and I hope you're all well and that you've been crafting and crocheting and knitting lots of lovely things. So take care and speak to you soon. Bye.